Hey y'all, I'm at I-78. I am back. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. We are going to take a look at President Donald Trump's education event. He's going to be talking about dismantling the board of education, as well as what that's going to mean, sending it back to the states, and he's going to sign some executive orders as well. So let's take a look.
Thank you very much, Ellen. And I'd like to start by saying that our country is doing very well. Things are, as you can see, doing quite well. Please sit down. Before we begin, I just want to announce that I signed a proclamation a few moments ago honoring the 250th anniversary of Patrick Henry's famous speech to the Second Virginia Convention, in which he declared very well-known, very famous words, "Give me liberty or give me death." Has anyone heard the phrase? I think most of you have. And moments ago, I also signed an executive order to dramatically increase production of critical minerals and rare earths. It's a big thing in this country. And as you know, we're also signing agreements in various locations to unlock rare earths and minerals and lots of other things all over the world. But in particular, Ukraine, we're doing very well with regard to Ukraine and Russia. And one of the things we are doing is signing a deal very shortly with respect to rare earths with Ukraine, which they have tremendous value in rare earth, and we appreciate that. And we spoke yesterday with, as you know, President Putin and President Zelensky, and we would love to see that come to an end. And I think we're doing pretty well in that regard. So hopefully we can save thousands of people a week from dying. That's what it's all about. They're dying so unnecessarily. And I believe we'll get it done. We'll see what happens, but I believe we'll get it done. Today we take a very historic action that was 45 years in the making. In a few moments, I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all. And it sounds strange, doesn't it? Department of Education, we're going to eliminate it. And everybody knows it's right. And the Democrats know it's right, and I hope they're going to be voting for it, because ultimately it may come before them, but everybody knows it's right, and we have to get our children educated. We're not doing well with the world of education in this country, and we haven't for a long time. And we're pleased to be joined today by the woman who I chose because she's an extraordinary person. And hopefully she will be our last Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. Linda, thank you. Thank you very much. That's another interesting statement. It's an interesting opening, right? But it's true, and it's been amazing how popular this has been. I tell people that this is what I'm doing today, and they say, "Oh, it's about time." Everybody says it. Republicans and Democrats have said it. They're all saying it. Also with us are some terrific people. Governors Greg Abbott. Greg, thank you very much. Governor Ron DeSantis, thank you very much, Ron. Mike Braun, congratulations on your victory, Mike. That was a big one. Mike DeWine, thank you very much, Mike. Jeff Landry. Jeff, thank you very much, Jeff. Bill Lee, thank you. Governors, all governors. Brad Little. Brad, thank you very much. Where are you, Brad? Hi, Brad. Jim Pilan, thank you very much, Jim. And Kim Reynolds. These are all people very interested in education. And I even see Dan Patrick over there, my friend Dan Patrick. We're joined also by Representatives Tim Walberg and Virginia Fox, Rick Allen, Michael Rulli, And again, Dan Patrick, thank you very much, Dan. You've been a great friend of ours. And State Attorneys General Ken Paxton. Ken, I see you there. Andrew Bailey. Andrew, what a job you've done, Andrew. You have some good cases going. You've done a great job. Thank you very much. And co-founder of Moms for Liberty, Tiffany Justice. She's been a hard worker. Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. When President Carter created the Federal Education Department in 1979, it was opposed by members of his own cabinet, as well as the American Federation of Teachers, the New York Times editorial board, and the famed Democrat Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan. History has proven them right, absolutely right. After 45 years, the United States spends more money on education by far than any other country, and spends likewise by far more money per pupil than any country, and it's not even close. But yet we rank near the bottom of the list in terms of success. It's an amazing stat. Those are two stats you don't want. The most money spent per pupil, and you're at the bottom of the list. And that's where we are, like it or not. And we've been there for a long time. 70% of eighth graders are not proficient in either reading or in math. 70%. 40% of fourth Despite these breathtaking failures, the department's discretionary budget has exploded by 600% in a very short period of time, and it employs bureaucrats in buildings all over Washington, D.C. And as a former real estate person, I will tell you, I ride through the streets of Washington and it says Department of Education, Department of Education. I said, how do you fill those buildings? It's crazy what's happened over the years. I'm pleased to report that after offering these federal employees two generous buyout options, and they were very generous, and they're good people, but they were very generous. My administration has initiated a reduction in force, and we're already cutting numbers that were really surprising to a lot, that we were able to do it so successfully. And we've cut the number of bureaucrats in half. 50% have taken office, which is great. Thank you. Under the action I'm taking today, a small handful of Democrats and others that we have employed for a long time, and there are some Republicans, but not too many, I have to be honest with you. But the department's useful functions, and such as, and they're in charge of them, Pell Grants, Title I funding, resources for children with disabilities and special needs will be preserved, fully preserved. They're all going to be so. If you look at the Pell Grants, it's supposed to be a very good program, Title I funding and resources for children with special disabilities and special needs. They're going to be preserved in full and redistributed to various other agencies and departments that will take very good care of them. And that's very important to Linda, I know, and it's very important to all of us. But beyond these core necessities, my administration will take all lawful steps to shut down the department. We're going to shut it down, and shut it down as quickly as possible. It's doing us no good. We want to return our students to the states, where just some of the governors here are so happy about this. They want education to come back to them, to come back to the states, and they're going to do a phenomenal job. You know, if you look, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, I have to tell you, I give them a lot of credit. China's top 10. And so we can't now say that bigness is making it impossible to educate, because China is very big. But you have countries that do a very good job in education. And I really believe, like some of the governors here today from states that run very, very well, including a big state like Texas, but states that run very well are going to have education that will be as good as Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and those top, Finland, those top countries that do so well with education. I think they'll do every bit as well. And what do you think about that, Governor? Do you agree? Huh? I think so. Ron, do you agree? I think so. Florida? Iowa? That's right. I really believe that. They'll be as good as any of them. And then you'll have some laggards, and we'll work with them. And we can all tell you who the laggards will be right now, probably, but let's not get into that. But we'll work with them, and we're going to make them, they'll do a job. I think they'll do a job, and they'll go to sections of the state. For instance, New York, you'll have a Manhattan, and you'll have a Suffolk County, and you'll have Nassau County, and you'll have Westchester County. You'll do 4 or 5 or 6 of them. You have upstate New York, and those counties, I think, are going to do very well. And I think ultimately Manhattan should do very well. But we'll break it down into sections, and I think it'll be really, really good. And they're going to be probably the tougher ones, but I think they have a chance to do really well. But we're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs. And this is a very popular thing to do, but much more importantly, it's a common sense thing to do, and it's going to work. Absolutely, it's going to work. And I can tell you from dealing with the governors and others in the state, they want it so badly. They want to take their children back and really teach their children individually. Probably the cost will be half, and the education will be maybe many, many times better. So we look forward to this. I want to just make one little personal statement. Teachers, to me, are among the most important people in this country, and we're going to take care of our teachers. And I don't care if they're in the union or not in the union. That doesn't matter. But we're going to take care of our teachers, and I believe the states will take actually better care of them than they are taken care of right now. They'll work all sorts of systems and even merit systems. Those great teachers are going to be maybe a little bit better rewarded, or maybe that's the way it should be, but the states are going to make that decision. But we're going to love and cherish our teachers along with our children, and they're going to work with the parents, and they're going to work with everybody else, and it's going to be an amazing thing to watch, and it's really going to be something special. And Linda, you're presiding over something that's so important, and you're going to do a fantastic job, just like you have your whole life. I know your whole life I've been watching you. I've been watching you for a long time. She's had nothing but success. So it's tremendous to have you, and hopefully you won't be there too long, but we're going to find something else for you, Linda, okay? So this will conclude what we are talking about with respect to our most cherished group of people, and that's our children. We want to have our children well educated. We want them to love going to school. We have examples of it. Look at those beautiful, bright-eyed faces. They are so smart. They're so smart. And with that, I'm going to come down, and we're going to sign a very important document, and we're going to be on our way. People have wanted to do this for many, many years, for many, many decades. And I don't know, no president ever got around to doing it, but I'm getting around to doing it. So thank you very much. Good-looking people here. Should I do this? It was very lucky. I saw another document that turned out to be very good for the country, and I said, let's use that same pen. I don't know, is anybody superstitious? Ron, are you superstitious? Let's use that same pen. Okay. you come up just to say? It's very important, big factor here. Good luck.
Looks like it's the same kind of document. It might be the one that he signed earlier.
God bless America indeed. President Trump making America great again and truly being the people's president, the president of federalism, bringing that idea, states' rights, the 10th Amendment, bringing it back to the states where these experiments of democracy can happen, whether it's public school, private school, or homeschooling, allowing those local jurisdictions to make those decisions much better than having a bloated bureaucratic nonsense take place to tell you what you're going to do with your life. This will be better for everyone. And that might just be, again, one of the most adorable scenes we're seeing here. It looks like all of those future students, perhaps a future president in that group.
He's going to be quiet for a minute. I'm going to be real honest. He was on earlier, and a lot of what he had to say, I didn't really agree with. Now, apparently there's a bill based in Illinois. I'm gonna have to look it up and read it. Where they are asking for stipulations as far as homeschooling, which to me makes sense because there are core competencies that you need to be able to, master to be considered educated and to be able to function out in the world. So again, I'm gonna have to read it and see what supposedly the problem is, but all that what he was talking about didn't really make no sense to me. And I saw another comment in the chat about Trump taking away education. If we are in the greatest era of technology, how the hell can somebody take away your education? If you want to know, if you want to know, you'll know. Again, with all this technology going on, how can somebody take your education from you? They can't. Now, you can choose to not do the work and get the education. That's something different. But that's not somebody taking your education from you. So, yeah, if somebody can explain that to me, we'll be doing good. What you say, Ray? New life, damn good point. Right. If you want to know, you're going to learn. Exactly. What you say, Dan, your teachers failed. They did. Exactly. Nobody's taking away education. Because, if we're going to be real honest, education is not what it is advertised to be. In this day and age, education is learning how to memorize something long enough to regurgitate it back. And then depending on how well you do that, they determine how intelligent, quote unquote, you are. That's not education. That's not education. So I don't get it. Somebody help me figure that out. Well, Ray, you got a point. But let's go back and finish up with what he talking about, because it was a lie I wasn't feeling. But let's go.
Order that just took place in the East Room. This man, it's extraordinary. 2 months into it now, roughly 60 days. There's a live shot of Governor Ron DeSantis,
if you want to know,
the Sunshine State of Florida. Of course, if you drive from Alabama or Georgia into Florida, You'll see those signs. Welcome to the free state of Florida. He's done an extraordinary job there for education and parental rights
Once
and
we
keeping
explain to us how the
men out of
voucher
women's
system works
sports.
and
That's been
how you
echoed
need a
by
voucher to
the
be able to go
EOs, the
learn.
memorandums, and of
We
course,
just
the
got to talking about
legislation
education and
coming from
technology
the
about
Republican
vouchers.
Congress and President Donald Trump. So really a day for liberty, a victory for the American people, as this executive order to end the Department of Education once and for all has been signed. And roughly brief comments from the president, along with photos with Linda McMahon, the Secretary of Education. And what a day it's been. March 20th. It is the first day of spring. There's
Yes,
Governor
it is.
Greg
Happy
Abbott
spring,
of the
y'all.
Lone
Happy
Star
spring.
State of
Yep, I
Texas.
already had our
Always
spring
wonderful
shower
to
for the
have
day.
our nation's governors joining, of course, President Trump. I see Bill Lee there of the volunteer state of Tennessee. There's Mike Braun as well from Indiana, the crossroads of America. This is where it all happens, folks. 50 states that can put these experimental ideas into practice. That's the nature of democracy. That's the nature of our constitutional republic, envisioned nearly 50 years ago. And my only question really for our founders, if we are reunited once again in the beautiful heavenly kingdom, as many of them believed deeply in, do they really envision 13 colonies on the eastern seaboard becoming this beautiful nation? 50 states, 6 territories that span countless time zones, that go from sea to shining sea, from Atlantic to Pacific, filled with the most incredible entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and just decent
Raise new
people
life?
at the end of the
Absolutely
day.
not. If you got
That's the
people
United
sitting there with a
States of America, and we're
0.35
honored
GPA,
here
they do
at
not
Right
need
Side
another dime.
Broadcasting Network Live
No.
to cover all of the action that is making a huge difference for you and for your posterity. It's America, folks, and it is the first day of spring, the first day of March Madness. Of course, it's Irish American Heritage Month.
Absolutely
I also
true.
jotted down a note
Absolutely true.
that I have to check because Secretary Kennedy reminded me of this. It's National Nutrition Month, and he's recommended that the milk intake for everyone in America goes out of the outdated guidelines and moving to a natural fat option and a fattier milk, actually better for you. So I'm loving what he's doing over at the Department of Health and Human Services.
Everything now is just
But it's been 2 months to the day where President Trump has been in office, sworn in. Of course, the governor of Louisiana there as well. So an exciting day at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Mr. Director, do we have any sponsors to thank before we wrap this afternoon? Fantastic. You want to get Colonial Metals.
Let me know if you got
this group of entrepreneurs knows exactly how to beat that hedge against inflation. And you might as well take a bet with this incredible company. Scan that QR code now, shield your savings. And we get to regularly interview the brilliant Paul Stone, the CEO of this great company. freegoldguide.com/RSBN. That is your gold guide and no obligation in order to figure out what's best for you and your family with major retirement options. Also, if you're about to send one of your students to a great university, that's been the theme today, this afternoon, education policy in the United States. Why not Auburn, Alabama, a great school that is competing right now in March Madness? So scan that QR code now. You're going to learn that from 2020 on, gold has grown 840% in wealth. Directly up since 1971, when we went off the gold standard under the Nixon administration, 7,000%. Just think about that. It never goes down, just goes up. And it is your best bet against inflation. Thank you to Colonial Metals Group. How about PatriotAddictDeals.com? Get that Trump Force One replica plane. Claim your 20% off using code RSBN20. Trump Force One airplane. I got to see it with my own.
Okay, because he about to push, you know what I'm saying, the little replica of the airplane. Okay, so Derek, let me go back to what you just said real quick. So you say you're wondering if students will have a chance to learn about their culture. Question, what about their culture is going to help them be competitive with the rest of the country and then the rest of the world? Like if you want to come up, let me know. But yeah, what about their culture is gonna make them more competitive? Make sure you spend all the money you don't have. Listen, somebody be buying that Trump merchandise. It stays sold out, sir. It stays sold out. I don't know what's going on over there. Okay, Derek. Put in the chat. Just let us know what the culture gonna do to make you competitive. Yeah, somebody buying all that stuff. That's all I can say. Ray's new life with your you got a point, Ray. Because I mean, that would be a lot of culture learning. But how about this? This is my thought on that. To be able to teach something, wouldn't the expectation be for you to be verifiably proficient in it? Like, would you want somebody who read 2 books on the subject and have absolutely no personal experience teaching your child, or would you want somebody who been in it, is certified to be qualified all their life? Like, which would you prefer? The history of America needs to be taught. But I'm pretty sure you can find that if you look, because that's gonna be subjective at best. What you say, Derek? I want our people to know we are the first to take pride in your history. And I'm gonna talk about the 3 R's. Okay, again, Derek, what is that going? What that gonna do? You say definitely. About I know you guys have like a primary going on, and the main topic of conversation from what I've been hearing since before I started the broadcast, is about the school choice. So like, I need to know what's going on with school choice down in the A. Qualified and certified teachers are the best. This is true. But now you also know what they say, Bobo, those who can't teach. And what you say, definitely, Derek, do you know true history? And again, because somebody, say, okay, I mean, basics, saying, stuff that's, saying, kind of the same, well, things that are the same across the board, math, science, English, history, history is a little subjective, but, math, science, English, okay, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be, Socrates to teach any of that. I mean, math is math. 2 and 2 is 4, 3 and 3 is 6, so forth, so on. That's cool. But when you start getting into more nuanced things, we need to be able to verify your proficiency. Like, I wouldn't be getting up in a room full of folks trying to tell them how to perform brain surgery, and I work in finance. Just because I passed the test saying, I can count and I can read and I'm willing to get up in front of people and talk, that doesn't mean I'm qualified to teach brain surgery. But with these teachers in a lot of states, it absolutely does. And that's the problem. They can't. But again, if I'm over here with Bandito, again, I understand that. So that's a whole different conversation. But now, again, half of them ain't qualified to teach nothing anyway and couldn't make it in other arenas. So they came to teach because they knew it was a job they could have. So this sounds like a choice to me. What you say, Derek? Definitely no, sir. I do not know it all, but from my understanding, it was the Moors dealt with the smart ones. We might have to pick that up later. Hold on. We ain't got no time for that. Yeah, you can go. No time for that. We was kind. Listen. I'm just saying. So again, but I mean, honestly, any job that you take is a choice, because you can always say no. What you say? Am I saying liberal corruption is a jobs program for compliant? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, do y'all need me to run? Because I know some of y'all were a little tardy to the party, so to speak. Y'all need me to run Trump's speech back? Just put a one in the chat if y'all want me to run it back so you can hear it from the beginning. If not, we'll continue on with our conversation. All I'm saying is you can lose your history in higher learning. Just look at what's going on. Okay, we get that, Derek. But again, that's something you honestly, for where we are with education, that's something you would have to take up on your own time, on your personal time. We're not in a position where we got time to get folks caught up and worry about them knowing their culture. Because again, that's where your family come in. Because I mean, again, honestly, I stayed in trouble in school when it came to Black history. Because what I was getting, the knowledge and education I was getting from my family wasn't matching what was in the books. And the education I was getting from my family came with serious receipts. So when I got to school and they was like, yeah, this happened and that. No, that's not what happened. What happened was A, B, C, and D. I stayed in trouble. So it is what it is. It's been plenty of criticizing elected officials in this chat, on this stream, and plenty of other previous streams. You just late to the party. So again, okay, Ray, he's talking about rewriting history. You can only confirm that the history is being rewritten when you actually know the history. What you say, Derek? What is that? That's all they're teaching in schools is European version of history. Okay. But again, why are you trying to rely on the school system to teach your child about their history? I just got through sitting here explaining I didn't learn my history in school. Like for real. I didn't learn my history in school. So I mean, again, this is where the parents come in, and this is when we go back to the nuclear family, which is really what all of this is about. What is it about? Yeah, you don't know if you're not exposed. Exactly, Rand. What I'm saying is we got to put that back on the family, because again, if you look at other races of people, let's take Black people out of this. Let's even take white people out of this. Let's just look at the other people. So we're not talking about Black people. We're not talking about white people. Those, I have friends in those, you know what I'm saying, ethnic groups, racial, you know what I'm saying, racial lines, all of that. They family give them their history. Because they was like, we're not waiting for nobody else to tell the story. Because they're not going to tell it right. I just gave y'all an example of that. So if they can do it, why we can't do it? Am I gonna really have to answer that? Or y'all gonna be able to answer that for me? Hey man, Preet. Welcome. Glad to have you. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, share. If you have not, it's a reason. It's a reason why they can get all of that done and we can't. I'm well, thank you. The reason we can't get that done is because we're not together. Again, you got these modern women, quote unquote. You got Keisha over here. She got 4 kids by 3 different dudes. She's decided she's not going, you know what I'm saying, tell the story about what's been going on. Because she busy, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know what I'm saying, justify all her bad decisions. They don't have exposure to, you know what I'm saying, the other side of their family to try to get some information. So they stay ignorant. Well, they only know what's in the school. That's the same as staying ignorant. But when you got, you know what I'm saying, an intact family, you got your parents, you can get their version. Then you can go to your grandparents on both sides and get their version. Some of us, like myself, was, you know what I'm saying, fortunate enough to know they great grands. You can get their version of the story. Everybody don't have that. And that's the problem. Because everybody's scattered out and all over the place. So got to fix that part first. Then maybe we can get to, you know what I'm saying, getting things in a place where we can go back and talk about what happened in the past. But right now we ain't there. Hold on, I wouldn't be talking if I was anyone about the U.S. having the best school system. We don't have the best school system. That's the problem, Mr. Kenner. That's the problem. We don't. But you say a lot to her version don't matter, because if you have 4 kids, by many men, you shouldn't sleep around. Exactly. But I'm just saying that'd be the mindset that they in. See, it's the mindset. What you say, Derek? Saw an old video today. This woman had 15 kids and was complaining about somebody needs to pay for these kids. What? Nah, we good. We good on that. She can pay for her own kids. Ain't nobody got time. But yeah, we do not have the best school system in the world, but we paying what 4 times more than anybody, quadruple what everybody else paying. We got to do better. All this technology and people still dumb. What's happening? Child, somebody send it to me so I can see that. Somebody send me that. I need to see this video because that's too much going on. There's entirely too much going on. But hold on, because y'all was asking for it. I'm gonna get it to you in a minute. Hold up. Put technology. Oh, get to. I mean, he came right on with it. No lie. He came right on with the information. Name me a single inner city ghetto. What? Single inner city ghetto race not run by the Democrats. Oakland, Old Block, Queens, Dorchester, South. This is true. But what I don't understand is this. Hold on, y'all. We go from the beginning. Like I said, he came right on with it. And it was way shorter than I thought it was gonna be. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you. You always looking out. He was yakking me. Hold up.
Order to really bring back the power to the American people, to say the Department of Education has gone too far. It's now time to scale back and bring this local authority, this power, back to municipalities, to the counties, to the states, and however the states divide up their educational prowess. As we were speaking to Marcy McCarthy, the chairwoman of the DeKalb County GOP, and of course, Katie Zachariah of Orange County, California.
All right,
we know that everything in the Golden State
you grew up in
upside down.
Everyone blamed the Republicans, and I never met one until I moved
and
out.
his terrible policies and the big government grab.
This is the thing. No side is right 100% of the time. And just because you ride with side A don't mean you got to hate and not listen to side B. If you're intelligent, you're going to listen and find out what's going on.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone.
No, they need to take their ass to
and
work,
I'd like to start
Bandito.
by saying that our country is doing very well. Things are, as you can see, doing quite well. Please sit down. Before we begin, I just want to announce that I signed a proclamation a few moments ago honoring the 250th anniversary of Patrick Henry's famous speech to the Second Virginia Convention, in which he declared very well-known, very famous words, "Give me liberty or give me death." Has anyone heard the phrase? I think most of you have. And moments ago, I also signed an executive order to dramatically increase production of critical minerals and rare earths. It's a big thing in this country. And as you know, we're also signing agreements in various locations to unlock rare earths and minerals and lots of other things all over the world. But in particular, Ukraine, we're doing very well with regard to Ukraine and Russia. And one of the things we are doing is signing a deal very shortly with respect to rare earths with Ukraine, which they have tremendous value in rare earth, and we appreciate that. And we spoke yesterday with, as you know, President Putin and President Zelensky, and we would love to see that come to an end. And I think we're doing pretty well in that regard. So hopefully we could save thousands of people a week from dying. That's what it's all about. They're dying so unnecessarily, and
Okay, well, most of these
I
people
believe
are
we'll
doing all
get it
this
done.
crying
We'll see
ain't
what
working
happens,
nowhere.
but I
So
believe we'll
do
get
work.
it done.
You can come back and holler.
Today we take a very historic action that was 45 years in the making. In a few moments, I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all. And it sounds strange, doesn't it? Department of Education, we're going to eliminate it. And everybody knows it's right. And the Democrats know it's right. And I hope they're going to be voting for it, because ultimately it may come before them. But everybody knows it's right. And we have to get our children educated. We're not doing well with the world of education in this country, and we haven't for a long time. And we're pleased to be joined today by the woman who I chose because she's an extraordinary person, and hopefully she will be our last Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. Linda, thank you. Thank you very much. That's another interesting statement. It's an interesting opening, right? But it's true, and it's been amazing how popular this has been. I tell people that this is what I'm doing today, and they say, "Oh, it's about time." Everybody says it. Republicans and Democrats have said it. They're all saying it. Also with us are some terrific people. Governors Greg Abbott. Greg, thank you very much.
Abbott don't play.
Governor Ron DeSantis, thank you very much, Ron. Mike Braun, congratulations on your victory, Mike. That was a big one. Mike DeWine, thank you very much, Mike.
Your education's not going anywhere.
Jeff Landry. Jeff, thank you very much, Jeff. Bill Lee, thank you. Governors, all governors. Brad Little. Brad, thank you very much. Where are you, Brad? Hi, Brad. Jim Pilan, thank you very much, Jim. And Kim Reynolds. These are all people very interested in education. And I even see Dan Patrick over there, my friend Dan Patrick. We're joined also by Representatives Tim Walberg and Virginia Fox, Rick Allen, Michael Rulli. And again, Dan Patrick, thank you very much, Dan. You've been a great friend of ours. And State Attorneys General Ken Paxton. Ken, I see you there. Andrew Bailey. Andrew, what a job you've done, Andrew. You have some good cases going. You've done a great job. Thank you very much. And co-founder of Moms for Liberty,
exactly, Crystal. How
Tiffany
you doing,
Justice.
girl?
She's been a hard worker.
Hope everything's
Thank
been
you.
good.
Thank you, Tiffany. When President Carter created the Federal Education Department in 1979, it was opposed by members of his own cabinet, as well as the American Federation of Teachers, the New York Times editorial board, and the famed Democrat Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan. History has proven them right, absolutely right. After 45 years, the United States spends more money on education by far than any other country, and spends likewise by far more money per pupil than any country, and it's not even close. But yet we rank near the bottom of the list in terms of success. It's an amazing stat. Those are two stats you don't want: the most money spent per pupil, and you're at the bottom of the list. And that's where we are, like it or not. And we've been there for a long time. 70% of eighth graders are not proficient in either reading or in math. 70%. 40% of fourth graders lack even basic reading skills, can't read. Students in our public elementary and middle schools score worse in reading today than when the department opened, by a lot. In Baltimore, 40% of the high schools have 0 students who can do basic mathematics.
He is not cutting
Not even
education.
the very simplest of mathematics.
He's simply
I said, give me
reorganizing the
your
way
definition
education is
of
going to be
basic, and they're
discussed.
talking about like adding a few numbers together. Despite these breathtaking failures, the department's discretionary budget has exploded by 600% in a very short period of time, and it employs bureaucrats in buildings all over Washington, D.C. And as a former real estate person, I will tell you, I ride through the streets of Washington and it says Department of Education, Department of Education. I said, how do you fill those buildings? It's crazy what's happened over the years. I'm pleased to report that after offering these federal employees 2 generous buyout options, and they were very generous, and they're good people, but they were very generous. My administration has initiated a reduction in force, and we're already cutting numbers that were really surprising to a lot, that we were able to do it so successfully. And we've cut the number of bureaucrats in half. 50% have taken office, which is great. Thank you. Under the action I'm taking today, a small handful of Democrats and others that we have employed for a long time, and there are some Republicans, but not too many, I have to be honest with you. But the department's useful functions, and such as, and they're in charge of them: Pell Grants, Title I funding, resources for children with disabilities and special needs will be preserved, fully preserved. They're all going to be. So if you look at the Pell Grants, it's supposed to be a very good program. Title I funding and resources for children with special disabilities and special needs, they're going to be preserved in full and redistributed to various other agencies and departments that will take very good care of them. And that's very important to Linda, I know, and it's very important to all of us. But beyond these core necessities, my administration will take all lawful steps to shut down the department. We're going to shut it down, and shut it down as quickly as possible. It's doing us no good. We want to return our students to the states, where just some of the governors here are so happy about this. They want education to come back to them, to come back to the states, and they're going to do a phenomenal job. You know, if you look, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, I have to tell you, I give them a lot of credit. China's top 10. And so we can't now say that bigness is making it impossible to educate, because China is very big. But you have countries that do a very good job in education. And I really believe, like some of the governors here today from states that run very, very well, including a big state like Texas, but states that run very well are going to have education that will be as good as Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and those top, Finland, those top countries that do so well with education. I think they'll do every bit as well. And what do you think about that, Governor? Do you agree? Huh? I think so. Ron, do you agree? I think so. Florida, Iowa. That's right. I really believe that. They'll be as good as any of them. And then you'll have some laggards, and we'll work with them. And we can all tell you who the laggards will be right now, probably, but let's not get into that. But we'll work with them, and we're going to make them, they'll do a job. I think they'll do a job, and they'll go to sections of the state. For instance, New York, you'll have a Manhattan, and you'll have a Suffolk County, and you'll have a Nassau County, and you'll have Westchester County. You'll do 4 or 5 or 6 of them. You have upstate New York, and those counties, I think, are going to do very well. And I think ultimately Manhattan should do very well. But we'll break it down into sections, and I think it'll be really, really good. And they're going to be probably the tougher ones, but I think they have a chance to do really well. But we're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs. And this is a very popular thing to do, but much more importantly, it's a common sense thing to do, and it's going to work. Absolutely, it's going to work. And I can tell you from dealing with the governors and others in the state, they want it so badly. They want to take their children back and really teach their children individually. Probably the cost will be half, and the education will be maybe many, many times better. So we look forward to this. I want to just make one little personal statement. Teachers, to me, are among the most important people in this country, and we're going to take care of our teachers. And I don't care if they're in the union or not in the union. That doesn't matter. But we're going to take care of our teachers, and I believe the states will take actually better care of them than they are taken care of right now. They'll work all sorts of systems and even merit systems. Those great teachers are going to be maybe a little bit better rewarded, or maybe that's the way it should be. But the states are going to make that decision. But we're going to love and cherish our teachers along with our children, and they're going to work with the parents, and they're going to work with everybody else. And it's going to be an amazing thing to watch, and it's really going to be something special. And Linda, you're presiding over something that's so important, and you're going to do a fantastic job, just like you have your whole life. I know your whole life I've been watching you. I've been watching you for a long time. She's had nothing but success. So it's tremendous to have you, and hopefully you won't be there too long, but we're going to find something else for you, Linda, okay? So this will conclude what we are talking about with respect to our most cherished group of people, and that's our children. We want to have our children well educated. We want them to love going to school. We have examples of it. Look at those beautiful, bright-eyed faces. They are so smart. They're so smart. And with that, I'm going to come down, and we're going to sign a very important document, and we're going to be on our way. People have wanted to do this for many, many years, for many, many decades. And I don't know, no president ever got around to doing it, but I'm getting around to doing it. So thank you very much.
Okay, that's pretty much it. He gonna sign, and that was all the comments. So, let me ask y'all this. For those of y'all who say this is a mistake and America's going down the wrong road and all of this and all of that, what part of getting rid of No Child Left Behind, which allowed millions of unprepared children graduate and be thrown out here in the world to basically just perish, spiral out of control, crash out, whatever you want to call it. What's wrong with getting rid of that? What money went to the government to pay for schools? Explain that to us. Okay, Derek says nothing. What is wrong with, I'm just looking at the way that they wrote this up, how it's supposed to benefit the American people. What is wrong with parents now having more say so in what is being taught in school, and the teachers having more freedom, since y'all like that word, freedom to actually teach and do what needs to be done? For instance, let's say they're teaching math, and let's say they, according to the curriculum that's put forth by the federal government, it trickles down to the states, that then trickles down, saying, to the different school systems. That says you're supposed to devote, let's say, 20 hours a week to teaching multiplication. And let's say you're a teacher and you have your class has basically mastered multiplication. You taught it You've tested them on it 2 or 3 times. They got it. They got it in their sleep. They know what it is. Why not have the ability to move on to the next area than have to be stuck teaching something for 20 hours that these kids mastered in 5? What about that makes sense to y'all? Child, that new math is a fool, Derek. Listen, it's a whole fool. Ain't nobody got time for all that. Okay, what you say? This is about the student loans and the money the government was loaning to the students. Why can't y'all get that through y'all heads? Did that man mention student loans? He said it was trickling it back to the states. The education back to the states. He didn't mention that. I was waiting to hear about those student loans. He didn't mention any of that. Get yours. That's not in the mandate. They can't get in all of that. That's why he's trying to throw the mandate out the window. They can't teach that. They can't do all of that. No, they can't teach nobody how to be about credit and accountability and showing them what happened to you if you ain't got your life together. Because see what this whole no child left behind. I didn't grow up in that era. I had been well graduated by then. Sounds to me like you don't have to learn anything. We're gonna let you slide by. How is that helpful? Hey Scott, we're talking about we just watched the president talk about dismantling the Department of Education and what that would look like, as well as him signing the executive order to do so. And I'm just trying to figure out how getting rid of graduating people who haven't done the work and are not prepared for the world makes sense. But we got people who, saying this wrong and America's going in the wrong direction if we don't keep this nonsense going. Poor states are going to pay for their own school systems, no more coming from well. Okay, well. You was in elementary taking trips to Biztown, knowing how to write a check in the 3rd grade. Child, hey, listen, that was back in the day. That ain't happening today. Always pointing in the wrong direction, but somehow he's convinced he's leading the way. What about what he's doing is wrong, Benty? That's what we're trying to get to. See, people keep making these statements, but then when I ask for further clarification, I can't get it. Yeah, I'm trying to understand what people see as the actual problem. Would you say this is a waste of time because it's not going anywhere because he needs permission from the Senate to do so? PR stunt. Okay, but what if he gets it though, RBN? What if they're like, you know what? It can't get no worse. Let's see what happens. Then what? What you say? OCD card got what he's doing is not wrong. 260 billion a year on education. Our kids can't even read at the 5th grade level. Well, yeah. Okay, so you're saying he won't. Okay. What you say? I never let my schooling get in the way of my education. Hey, you know what, Mr. Good Citizen? There might be words to live by right there. Because again, the way I grew up, I didn't learn at school. School backed up what I learned other places. It either did or it didn't. What you say, sheep? What? Only sheep would assume removing one system couldn't then be replaced by another more improved system without total economic collapse. Schools have been a big problem for a long time. We should be grateful. Okay. Would you say 18 is because of the disdain for President Trump, even when he works in our favor? They call it wrong. Yeah. Yeah, you know what, 18? Because I had to check somebody about that in a chat I was in earlier. My thing is, if something, hold on, what you say, RBN? He needs 10 Dems to vote with all the Republicans. That's never gonna happen. This was a waste. I don't understand how people don't understand what the president can actually do. Yeah, well, I mean, again, listen, but no child left behind. So they didn't have to, you know what I'm saying, know it. They still graduated anyway. See how this a problem? See, the prime example of what we talking about. But anyway, because actually, conversation I had with another content creator the other day actually came into play. If something is written into law, that means it's the law, right? So if what you are doing meets the legal, you're saying, criteria of it being okay, how much money is in your bank account don't have nothing to do with it, right? What you say 7 out of 10 students said ASU couldn't find America on the globe. Are you talking about Arizona State University? That's a whole problem. You see, I hate that. Listen, I'm glad I ain't have to be bothered with that. Because like I started out in Catholic school, so you had to show and prove. And them nuns, they gave less than a damn about how you, your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, any of them felt about it. If you didn't meet the criteria, you didn't meet the standard. That's what it is. Keep plugging away at it till you get it, and let's move on to something else. But nobody graduating up in there that couldn't read. But I think the standard there, you had to be at least 4 grade levels above the actual grade you was in at the time. So yeah, when nobody finna graduate reading at no 4th grade level. Hell to the no. What you say? Democrats created welfare to eliminate poverty. How did that work out? Hey, they created you know what? But they also in that, Mr. Good Citizen, they created a different kind of poverty. They created mental poverty. And hell, they have way longer lasting effects than financial poverty. What you say? Hold on. What you say, RV? They're talking about raising life. Every department of federal government is created by Congress, not the damn president. Okay, ain't got nothing going on with it. Would you say 18? My children started in private school. My little sister went to Catholic school for elementary school. Yep. There's more poverty now than before it existed. Exactly, because now you have mental poverty. Mental poverty is gonna affect your it's gonna add to your financial poverty. Hey Jimmy H, how you doing? What's going on? You say anything run by the government is trash. I mean, listen. Hey, that's how you feel about it. I mean, I can't say you all the way wrong. What you say? Biden created record-breaking inflation and poverty. Child, listen, Ray, I ain't even gonna sit here and hold you. When I tell you, listen, things was rough. They was rough, y'all. Credit cards that was clean through the pandemic is high as hell right now. Remember, he said maybe he a victim of no child left behind. Hold up, making up a garbage narrative talking about mental problems. Who is that? We asking questions, animalistic behaviors. We asking questions. Okay, we talk about the nepotism he's embraced with hiring family and friends and run branches of government with no experience in the. You mean like the rest of the people that's in there that don't know shit? Nepotism's always going on. I don't know why we're wasting time for that. He's not the only one to do that. So let's move on to something else. Let's see, he's performing better than Biden did. Hey, but again, we only 59 days into this. I mean, if you take away inauguration day, we 58 days into him being 58 complete days of him being president. What we doing? Trump's reckless tax break to the top 1% had nothing to do with inflation. It was Biden. They did that. Listen, they both had a part to play. How about that? Well, my thing is this right here. If he should, by some miracle, pass this no tax on people making less than $150,000 a year, I don't see why people who dedicate themselves to being in a better state wouldn't use that money that they was paying on taxes to get that done. But again, that speaks to the person. That would speak to the person. So I mean, if you have the opportunity to do something and you don't do it, you can't then blame somebody else because you had the same opportunity to get it done as everybody else. If you, like I said, by some miracle this get passed and then you get your check, ain't no taxes coming out, you need to look at your stub before that and the stub before that and calculate how much you was paying in them taxes and allocate that money somewhere else, not to going shopping, not to going out to eat, not to be signing your kids up for AAU and all that bullshit, and they can't even walk without tripping over their own damn feet. Take that money, pay something off. Take that money, invest. Take that money. Hell, even if you bury it in the backyard, it's still better than them wasting it. So if when the next president show up and they erase all of that, you got some cushion to work with till you reacclimate yourself that having that come back out again. What you say, it's hard for me to have these conversations because too many stupid people enjoy the taste of Trump. You know what? We're not doing it. Trump had to sign an executive order that there are only two genders and millions being spent by Democrats to fight it. Well, yeah. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Good Citizen. Wow. Okay, let's go there. If we've been functioning all this time without rich people paying taxes, and we know that's not gonna change, why are we even worrying about that? I'm just saying, if rich people not paying taxes and it's mostly legal, I'm gonna put it like that, because some of them going by the book. I know quite a few. I know some that's cooking the hell out they books. I'm just saying. So if the majority of these rich people not paying taxes and it's legal, why are we attacking the person? Why don't we attack the process that's allowing them to do that? I'm just saying. Attacking the person who was like, yo, look, this information came to me. I tried it out. I ain't had no problems because it's legal. Why are we mad at them? Why don't we ask them about the information? So that we can then, you know what I'm saying, figure out why it can't work for everybody and then get rid of it. Worry about the wrong stuff. Okay, yeah, the government allows them to do it, right? Because let's tax the rich so they can lead the country for better opportunity. You know what? Yeah. Okay. I can see that. But again, if they leave and then another crop of rich people who still don't have to pay these same taxes come, what does that do? Why don't we look at how they getting around paying the taxes? Because that's the real culprit. Because again, if their type of money just fell out the sky into your bank account, you be doing the same thing they was doing. You wouldn't be sitting up on the live stream and protesting down at the courthouse, talk about, ooh, it's wrong. I ain't got to pay these taxes. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to quit playing. Okay, Parasite 99. We're going off what's being said in the chat. That's what we talking about right now. We're going off of what's being said in the chat. You know, folks is like, yo, rich people ain't paying no taxes and this and that. And thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. You know, they saying folks not paying and this and that and the fourth. Like I said, I know quite a few wealthy people who pay their stuff. I've even had them turn me on to ways I can save some money with them taxes. I'm just saying. The information is there. If it's legal and you can do it, why not do it? Why sit around and be pissed off and low key, you know what I'm saying, jealous of people who went and got the information and made it work for them? Even take that information and get with your, you know what I'm saying, with your local people, and y'all sit down and brainstorm on how to, you know what I'm saying, make that work for people who earn it on a smaller scale. That's what I want to talk about, is get some legislation together. Y'all want to talk about they did this and they did that and woo 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 woo. Nah, let's get some legislation going. I want to have that conversation. Thank you, Scott. That's all I'm saying. I had somebody who, you know, is doing pretty well. They was like, you know, this is working for me, but you know what I'm saying, when I was in your situation, I was able to do this, and that. You should look into it. Cool. That's what I need. And keep it moving. And then as you know what I'm saying, you accumulating things, you know what I'm saying, get it. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta talk to somebody about something. Listen, create a cap. That no tax on overtime. Should that I'm gonna be hating on y'all, because right now the job I got ain't really it's not really offering overtime, but I might be able to finagle that. But yeah, if we were to get no tax on overtime and no tax, listen, when I tell y'all, for real, people who are really serious about getting their stuff together could get a lot done. But you got to be willing to put in the work. What you say, these damn parties get rich and get away with murder because average Americans out here fighting over fake outrage issues. This shot them ain't nothing but damn facts. Them facts right there, sir. Them facts. Y'all wasting all this time, because now wasn't it a little while ago we was folks was bad and hooping and hollering and all of that, you know what I'm saying, about the you know what I'm saying, inauguration and all that. I ain't heard no more about nothing. What you say, Scott? Instead of whining, we need to learn from those that might be a little further ahead in the game. Listen, absolutely. We're back. What you say? No amount of money will solve liberal corruption. Well, yeah. Baltimore schools are failing because of the race of the students. Blaming anything else is okay. We can't say that all of the students that are failing in the school system in Baltimore are all the same race, because that ain't true. What you say? I think if he does no tax pay, if you make under 150,000, Republicans will win every election after this. Listen, yeah, there's plenty of black students that do good. Baltimore public schools fail because it's run by Democrat supermajority. Now, I can agree with you on that, because my sister actually she doesn't live in Baltimore. She lives in Odenton, which is like right on the. She's like right on the last little piece of Prince George's County. So when I go visit her, you know, and interact with, you know, say her church people and her friends and all this, and most of them have children, and I can tell the ones who parents be involved in what's going on and the ones who not. Like, let's be for real. All races are struggling because I believe because of what? Hold on. Yeah, crazy policies. All we've been talking about is fake outrage issues right now, though. There are much darker, scarier things going on that are infinitely more important than taxes. This is true. What you say, RB and Trump is a fucking lunatic and the Dems are out of touch and delusion, and it's our fault because we think rich people simply, yeah, they know everything because they rich. Child, I can tell you that ain't it. You think that Trump just wants fairness, to be honest. If it was a loophole for EBT, it's the problem, but somehow not paying thousands of dollars you owe the government. What? EBT need to be overhauled. All of that needs to be overhauled. I've been saying that since hell, I was a teenager. So I know the better part of 3 decades. There needs to be way more regulation. You should not be on that for all your damn life. You should not get knocked up at 15 and when you die at 72, your ass is still collecting. No. It should not be happening. Exactly. It's culture, not race. That should not be happening. What you say? Every city with a high population of African Americans is a complete mess. Basic pattern recognition requires a fully functioning human brain. Though Black Americans have to wait over a year for Section 8, yet illegals get it in a couple of months. Facts. What you say? I know I may get trashed, but we need the drug test. Absolutely, absolutely. Because I don't understand how I can't go 5 miles down the street and not smell marijuana. Listen, but if you read the Second Amendment, you'll see it gives us the right to storm the Capitol and replace our government by force. No, I'm not a Democrat host. I'm gonna call it how it is host. You said folks use Section. You know what, 18, but they ain't getting wealthy. They using Section 8 for generational poverty. If we're gonna be for real, financial poverty and mental poverty. Because I ain't met an intelligent motherfucker that's been on Section 8 their whole life yet. I'm still waiting. I ain't met them yet. You know, we worry about the smell of weed, go to a Trump rally, all you smell is beer and tailgate from a distance. I don't care about beer. We don't care about beer. I don't care about beer. I've been to a couple of Trump rallies. I don't care about all that. Yes, the black woman went to multiple Trump rallies, and I'm still alive. Unviolated in every way. That's all I'm gonna say. What did you say? You like insulting Americans' mental capability? Listen, most of them. If you stupid, it's your own fault. That's all I'm saying. If all you got time to do is sit around and come up with all these excuses and rationales and stories and back end justifications as to why you don't have nothing and you didn't get a chance and you this and he doesn't RBN. I verified that through some people. Not at all. As to why you ain't got nothing and did nobody help you and this and that and the woo 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 woo, but nothing in your story says I didn't do the work, but that's written all over you. That's on you. Don't nobody want to hear about that. You said you was being facetious because I saw, yeah. You heard someone say, "Why would you build a house if you have Section 8?" Okay, now let's see. Let's say Section 8 disappearing the next year. Now what? Now what we doing? Stop putting. All I'm saying is, I mean, all of us, to some extent, have put our well-being in somebody else's hands. If we go to work, if you work for somebody else, you do that. You know what I'm saying? If you're a married woman, you've done that. If you're a child, you've done that. I'm just saying, on some level, we all have put our well-being in somebody else's hands. But I'm just saying, if you gonna continuously do that, then you get what you get. I mean, everything has some level of risk to it. But you know what I'm saying, putting yourself to where you are completely dependent for all of your basics on the federal government, that's a whole problem. You said Black America had the greatest prosperity right after World War II up to the Civil Rights Bill passed. And facts, Mr. Good Citizen, facts. If Section 8 disappeared, housing prices would crash. It will be interesting to see what would actually happen. I don't know about that. Hey, mixed chick, how you doing? Section 8 landlords wouldn't do rent to own. Section 8 wouldn't allow also. It would give people homes they cannot afford to maintain. Most people, if we're going to be for real, right, most people in homes they can't afford to maintain. And we're gonna be for real, for real. Most people right now sitting in the house, they really can't pay, they can't afford. So like we have to put that on us. It's one thing to be able, and this is what a lot of people, especially Black people, you know what I'm saying, that I've come in contact with, get twisted up on. Being able to afford the mortgage does not mean you can afford the home. Okay? There's some other things you need to take into account. Because you can pay the mortgage. If the AC blow up, can you fix it? The heat go out, can you fix it? The tree fall and bust a hole in the roof, can you fix it? Pipe bust, can you fix it? Homeowners go up, homeowners association go up, can you pay it? Because you know they can take your house too. You got to factor in all that other stuff. People don't look at that. Oh yeah, but the mortgage is in. Yeah, I can pay that. No. What you say, Army? I can't afford my shit either. I need help moving in. I got 4 bedrooms. Listen. Yeah, insurance going up, or for those people who are in areas where they can't even get insurance now, your shit burn up. All y'all like that in California. Now what? Y'all got money to rebuild? Just let me know. Let me know. That's all I'm saying. So it's a difference between being able to pay the mortgage and really being able to afford your house. That's all I'm saying. And another thing I see Black people do is because they, you know what I'm saying, had to get their credit somewhat decent to be able to get into the house. Soon as they close on the house, they go car shopping. Had this happened to a friend of mine. I went to my friend's closing and helped her and read through her paperwork and all of that. And so she wanted me to do the same for her friend and her husband. All right, I get there and they talking about, oh, excuse me, y'all, I didn't know, it's my bad. And they, you know what I'm saying, in there, we going through and she was like, oh, I ain't know this, the homeowners was gonna be this much. I mean, we can. So they already, before they even signed the papers, was looking at financial stretch. I can send it to you, 18. It was already looking at financial stretch. So they went on and signed the papers, and they immediately left from there and went to the car dealership. Now, went to the car dealership, everybody got a car. So in the course of 3 days, you done signed on your house and bought 2 cars. 9 months down the road, what happens? One of them lost their job because the company went out of business. What y'all think happened? Some people are trying to write it, just stuff they bad. They're hateful idiots on the fringes. But listen, I had Scott. When I say, like I said, I've been to a few. I'm not saying I was following Trump around the country, nothing like that, because we were live streaming over here, so y'all know it wasn't like that. But yeah, I had no problems. What'd you say? 80% of Black households had both parents, even higher than whites at the time. Yeah, I'm sending it now, 18. Yeah, we had our stuff together, but again, because we were so caught up in our quest to be accepted by other folk, we ended up in this nonsense that we in. Again, we could have gotten equal opportunity and equal rights without having to be up in their face 24/7. But y'all wanted to be up in their damn face, and look at what happened. What was you talking about? Who's that? Okay, you should have an 18. Like, listen. But yeah, we folks make bad financial decisions when all you had to do in these people's situation was press pause on signing them closing documents, reassess what's going on, come back to the table if you need to, get a different property. But nah, they want to stunt and be greedy, and now you send people to damn repos on your damn credit. What's going on, 18?
Hey y'all.
I led my people into a burning building. He did. Amen. Amen. RBN, what's going on? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just mopping and I don't know what's going on. Hold on. I probably used too much Lysol.
Girl, child, you about to ask my sister, child, because she be hooked on that Lysol. Hey, Draco.
Oh, Jesus.
What you say? Home ownership is good, but 100%.
Yes, but I'm gonna
Listen,
tell you
Draco, but that's the
something.
thing. Most, and I hate to say it, but most black people, we feel like we too good to learn. You know what I'm saying? What we call manual labor. Like
Yeah.
we too good to figure out how to, you know what I'm saying, fix the leaky faucet. We too good, you know what I'm saying, to know how to hang
Mhm.
wallpaper.
Remember
We
back in
feel
the
like we
day.
too good for all of
How
that.
old are you? How old are you, Eminize, if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
46.
Okay, remember back in the day in the 80s, our neighborhood, well, I came home as a baby in building one in Beardsley Terrace in Bridgeport, Connecticut. When
Mm-hmm.
I got in like third grade, we moved into the suburbs. Y'all remember when it was nothing but black people, but the suburbs were clean? Like Riverdale, Georgia. It was places I went that like my family members moved to.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went back, like in the early 2000s, I was like, what the hell going on? It's like people do not take pride in their yard and their stuff.
They don't.
They let their houses get broke down. Just it's just little things. You don't pressure wash it. You don't do nothing. And I'm gonna tell you something too. There are programs out there in your county that will help you repair your home
Yes, there are.
if
There
you're under a
absolutely
certain
are.
budget.
Mhm.
Um, I know that what's the name of it? Habitat for Humanity
Yes,
is one.
ma'am. It's by it being
And
spring. It's
yes,
almost time for the signs
because
to go up around my neighborhood. They do it.
because
My
the
my
census,
neighbor across the street, he needed some roof work. He needed some side, just like little minor stuff. But I mean, he's like in
yeah,
his 80s. So what his sons did was they applied for the program, and wasn't last year, it was the year before,
it takes
and
a while.
they came and and did the work or whatever, and I think they had to pay like a certain amount, but they paid it on a monthly basis. I think he said it was gonna take them like 3 years, whatever the program was. It was supposed to be a 3-year plan for them to pay it back, but like with the three sons, like when they got their income tax refund, they went on to pay it off. But like you said, it's programs available. But again, if you don't care and you don't do the research, because I was over there getting all the information. I was like, let me get this in case something happened over here.
Yes,
Let me
because
write this down.
my seamstress, she's retired. Well, she's retired now, and then she's retired from doing seamstress work. But it took her a long time. It took them years because they come and evaluate your house, and then they have to get the funds. It took them about 2 years, but she got a new roof, she got a new window, she got new bathrooms. They came and did the inside work. They
Mm-hmm.
came and made sure that everything was done, correctly. But she said, 18 months, she said, I want to tell you something. She said, this was like 3 years in the making. But she said, because I didn't have to come out of pocket because she was a teacher. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess, teachers don't get paid, didn't get paid a whole lot back then. So she didn't have to pay anything. And then another one is, what you call it? USDA. But
Mm-hmm.
see, USDA, you have to live in a rural area.
Yeah.
USDA, you can also get a USDA loan to build a house. And I
Yeah.
tell people, I say, y'all going to get mobile homes. I said, do you know the interest on a mobile home? When you could go right to USDA and you could build a house. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you something else, Almond Eyes, that
Hey, Sofa.
that somebody taught my father. When you get a home, even though your mortgage is, when you buy anything, because he had it, me and him bought 15.6 acres together.
Mm-hmm.
We got the death benefit insurance on both of us. So if somebody died, the other person didn't have to worry about paying a mortgage. I had to have my half on his dresser. When you go to get these loans, I don't care if it's going to cost you extra. Get the death benefit insurance. And it's another insurance too that you can get where if you lose your job, if you get sick or whatever, your mortgage will be paid. Get it. If it's going to cost you more, get it because it's
You never know what's going to
security.
happen.
It's security.
Mm-hmm.
Like he died before me, so it was paid off. I didn't even know. They didn't even want to. He told me, but during the time he died, my mind was not thinking about that. I went to pay my mortgage, and the lady said, "You don't have to pay nothing." I said, "What?" She said, "You don't have to pay nothing." She said, "Because she was my father's ex-wife's sister." She said, "I'm gonna call you when I get off." And then I told her, I said, "But when I came down here and I sat in the office with that man, I said he said it wasn't there." I said, "So I wonder what he was plotting on."
Child,
You
you
know
never
what I'm
know.
saying? But yeah, it's programs out there. Even if you want food stamps, if you want food stamps and you get any kind of government assistance, your local DSS will put you in classes for free. And it's mainly healthcare. But you know what the problem is? A lot of these people be doing fraud and they felons, so they can't go get a trade for
Yeah, and a
free.
lot of them they don't want to do the work. Because if you look at it, if you're getting Section 8, you're getting food stamps, you're saying vouchers for your kids to go to daycare, and you go to these classes and you complete programs, they're gonna be looking at you like, well, why are you not using these
They,
programs? Why is your income not going up? Like, why the hell are you still here begging?
yes, and I'm gonna tell you another thing. They're gonna give you because some of it's according to what you make. They're gonna in your household size. They're gonna still give you some of that. I know people. I'm like, well, why did she quit her job, girl? Because they cut her food stamps. You mean to tell me you gonna quit your job
So
because they cut your food stamps when
yeah,
you could step up? They're so used to using food stamps to buy groceries that
right.
they
That's
don't want
supposed
to
to be a
use your own
supplement, not
money.
your complete. Yeah. Hey, Uncle Rick. I'm telling you, listen. Yeah, because I know here in North Carolina, it's like, I mean, it's a real thin line between, saying you working, what you can get, and what you can get versus not working. I think it's like a $75 threshold. So yeah, for these chicks, it completely makes sense to them to quit having to get up, quit having to, go to work, quit having to put forth some effort versus, sitting around and doing all what they want to do. It absolutely makes sense to them.
Hey, my favorite Uncle Rick, much love to you. Well, I'm gonna put it out
You say
there.
it can't get any worse.
I have a felony in my past, but I went and studied and got my seat. Stop, Buckner. You can also get your own business. There are things that you could learn. When I used to come down south for the summers, everybody had a hustle. People worked and they had a hustle. When even in Connecticut, like this person was a plumber, this person was an electrician, this person knew how to work on, this person was a painter, this person knew how to work on this person knew how to work on that. Don't just do nothing. Everybody had two jobs. Everybody had a side hustle in their job. How do you think those people made it and did the things they did? My grandmother ain't never worked, but she hustled barbecue. She hustled out. Yeah, she was a bootlegger. I'm ashamed to say it. I had a good ass childhood because she was a
Now, that's
bootlegger.
what's up.
We had the horseshoe driveway with the columns at the end. That's what I grew up coming south too. I don't know
Child, I
what
know what you're
everybody
saying.
else do.
That's how my grandparents were like well off, but
Yes,
like,
my
that's a
grandfather,
little bit different because
my
my grandmother
grandma
was
never worked. She baked cakes.
mm,
She it's a lot of stuff that she did, but also like all her kids graduated from school and they moved away. Also, she took care of some of her nieces and nephews. So they would send her things. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? These
Yeah.
people, they don't take care of their older people now. And the older
Yeah, they
people
don't
paved
care.
the way for us. Even my seamstress, when I was working, I ain't worked since 2022. I thank God I got a roof over my head, I got food to eat, I got clothes to wear. I got to fight hard for my Social Security. But
Mm.
even my seamstress, like, y'all see old people in y'all community. My husband was a truck driver. He logged. He was a logger. The old people in our community when he was living, they didn't have to worry about wood. He dropped wood off, he would just drop it off all through the year. So when the winter came, they didn't have to pay for wood. People don't do this no more. We
Not at
don't look
all.
out for each other no more. We don't. You could buy old people little things, soap, tissue, anything, paper towels, and they will appreciate it because a lot of the older people, their Social Security ain't that much. But then you can't do it because our people can't do it because we don't want to work.
Well, see, that's another thing about the Social Security. That was not designed to be your only, you know what I'm saying, your only source. That was
Nope.
designed to supplement what other retirement means you had in play.
Yes, yes. But that's what the older people did. They worked off. I know people who retired with my dad at the steel mill.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that their pension and Social Security, some of them is like $6,000
Yeah, they was
a
getting real.
month.
So they had their pension coming in,
Yes,
they had Social
yes,
Security, they had, you know what I'm saying, other stuff. Like my
yes.
granddaddy, he had like
But
annuities
I'm
and
gonna
stuff
tell
he
you
had set up.
something. The
They was
minute
right.
when my plumbing went bad, my father friend came and did my plumbing. He
That's what's
old.
up.
He's along with my father. He old. He said, none of my grandkids won't take this trade. He said,
What?
I'm getting too old to do this. He said, and I'm so backed up because I know older people can't pay a plumber what they're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be paid. So I don't charge that much.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at the steel mill. So, but he said, but I can't get nobody to do it but my step grandson. And my step grandson is on dialysis. Now,
Dang.
y'all, what's wrong with that picture when
But
these
the,
little kids,
the sick man working and y'all won't. Child, Lord have mercy.
your mom live off of $900 a month. She
Wow.
she don't supplement her income. My Social Security, they used to give you the widow's pension and the Social Security, but they said to me, we're looking at whose is higher. And the thing about Social Security, they don't give it to you if you don't know. If you don't own anything, they'll give it to you. If you own
Exactly.
something, they expect you to sell your stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
not selling, I'm
you
not
got to
selling
liquidate.
nothing.
You got to liquidate.
I ain't liquidating. My lawyers told me it's people that got more than you that got Social Security. We
Yep.
just gonna
They
have to
just want to see how bad you want it.
we just gonna have to fight. That's all to it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Because I've been working since I was 12. That's my money. Give me my
Yeah,
money back.
yeah, absolutely.
I'll take a chick on Social Security. No, I'm gonna find me. I gotta hustle, and I'm gonna find me some other kind of hustle because I'm not gonna be homeless. I don't.
No,
I can't get
he's talking
Section
about
8.
his mom. He's talking about her mom. He's
Right.
having a conversation with
Where's she
somebody else in
from?
the chat.
Beck, where's she
Yeah, no,
from?
he's having a conversation with somebody else in the chat.
If she tell them, that's crazy. We can't find a Section 8 house. You have to keep. What city are you in? That's what everybody say. That when you get the voucher, it's hard to find a house.
It is. It is. Because like even in my neighborhood, there were houses, you know what I'm saying, that went, once the grandparents died and those greasy ass kids sold it for pennies on the dollar, then the person who bought it turned it into Section 8 and the people kept, you know what I'm saying, trashing the joint, or either they because we have a noise ordinance in my neighborhood and we got a lot of older people and they don't be playing, so they would call the police on you quick, fast, and in a hurry. And the property owners was racking up thousands of dollars in, you know what I'm saying, fines for the police having to keep coming. So they was like, this is not worth it. So yeah, Like when I say they are super, super, uber duper strict. And a lot of in my neighborhood, a lot of the houses that were Section 8, they're now like corporate, like rentals, like Airbnbs type of joints.
What you can do, you can port your voucher. If she had it a year or if there's a special case, what she can do is she could put her voucher. She could say, I can't find any houses in Jasper County. So she would have to check with her. She would have to check with her caseworker. So look outside of Jasper County. You probably have to look outside of your county. Tell her to consult with her caseworker in the morning and see, can she port her voucher for special circumstances. They will fail you over. Yeah, they'll fail you. I wish I could get Section 8.
Listen.
Hmm.
I'm like, child, listen, because for real,
I wish I could get some food stamps. They probably have some for sale now that they got them tax checks.
Like, child, you say you live in the Section 8 capital of America.
Where do you live?
St. Louis.
Oh yeah. Look, I can't wait to get out of
Y'all be on another level up in St. Louis. Listen.
I can't wait to move on my property, buy me some chickens, plant my gardens. That's all I want to do.
And mind
I
all of
can't
your
stand
business.
I can't
Yeah.
stand a HOA. And y'all, I live by a Karen.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
She be in your business.
She be trying, but I don't talk to nobody. She be trying. When she first moved here, she tried. Even lied and said she was on the board for the HOA.
What?
And I looked at her and I was like, what? And I live next door to some young guys. They're in college and they're renters. And she said to me, those guys, they all finished college. I want to know why they still there. The
That's
guy
her
has
business, bitch.
the guys, I just said could because they pay their rent. She said, that car don't bother you. One of them have a Mustang. They some good guys. We have short conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, are they loud? I said, no. I said, they are young men. I said, they deserve to have their little parties and stuff because they're young.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, they're making a contribution to society. I said, all three of them work. Like, what's your problem?
Yeah, she looking for anything.
She came out when she first moved. I was getting out the car. I had went around back first. And then I came around front and she came out right with me. And she said, she was telling me she's a Democrat. I don't care. I said, ma'am, I don't care if you're Democratic. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you
no business.
I don't care if you're independent. I don't care if you're green, black, blue, red, or purple. All I need to know is that you are a decent person. And she turned red. Get the fuck up out my face. I'm from Walnut Park, but I'm in Arizona. You live in the city.
Now he was asking, somebody in the chat was asking if his mom moving in with him was an option. And he's like, they in two different places. So yeah, that wasn't really an option.
So, but what you could say is she already got her voucher. I don't know, Rico.
Yeah, because I know here in North Carolina, she would have to go on a whole nother each county got their own situation. So yeah, if she was here, let's say she had one in Mecklenburg County and then she was trying to go to like Gaston County, she would have to start all the way over.
No, you have to port. I thought you can port. You can actually port your voucher. Huh?
I think that varies from state to state.
Okay. Because you can port your voucher. I know people who moved to Hawaii on their vouchers. With their vouchers.
Yeah, child. They be trying
Is she on? She's not in a Section 8 home right now, right?
I don't know.
Brock O'Neill, is she in a Section 8 home now? Yeah, the vouchers are federal, so you should be able to move. Yeah, just tell her, call her caseworker in the morning and say, is there any way that I can put my voucher for the reason of is I'm not being able to find housing because I hear a lot of people say they can't find housing.
Mm-hmm. But I would recommend, doing some research to see where there is some before you start, because ain't no point in getting it moved and then you in the same situation.
Some homeowners accept vouchers
Yeah.
and some don't because Section 8 people have tore up their
Your
home.
reputation, yeah.
But my thing is, if you anytime you rent to anyone,
You run that risk.
every quarter you should do an inspection.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to do. Just let them know a week in advance you're coming for inspection. Every quarter you should do an inspection. We stay with family, but it's just getting weird. I Brock O'Neill, I understand. I totally understand. It's time for y'all to go. So
Yeah.
you just have to keep looking like real hard and make sure she call and ask because she put her voucher under how can I say it, extenuating circumstances, and that's because you can't find a home. You got to be looking every day.
Well, can she go to like uh retirement community? Like,
She,
does it absolutely have to be a house?
yeah, you can go to a retirement community. They make it look bad for everyone else who really wants a home. That's true.
That's why you got to get married
Some,
and get your own shit for real and quit.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
You
So
ain't got to worry about it.
and pay into your interest so it could be paid for by the time you get are retired.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand that. They be like, "Oh, I could just make this mortgage payment." No, pay off all that interest. Hey, Brock, have you ever thought of maybe getting your CDL? You can make good money on the road fast, and she could be with you the whole time. I would advise you
Yeah, I
make
would.
the state
Older
genuine.
people can't roll like that.
That it's according to how bad she is.
Yeah.
And then I always tell people too, look for habitat to open up in your area because you could get a habitat home built too.
Yeah, but you still gotta go. You gotta go through the process for all of that. So I mean,
Yeah, but
we
it's
got to
not.
make moves right
I
now.
know you
Got
have
time.
to wait. You have to wait until it open up. You can't owe any student loans because the government is not going to do it twice. Because if you owe student loans,
Mm.
you might as well forget it. But
Yeah,
that's
my
another
cousin,
way you could go.
she got a habitat house, but it took her like 9 years.
That's all right. It was worth the wait, right?
Yeah, but this lady's older. Like she passed retirement. She ain't got that type of time.
So other people can go and help build her house too.
But you have to put in work too, though, with Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, but you can also have other people do it for you. I
No,
think it's like 900 hours. Like your kids
no,
could
you
do
can
it.
get people to come help,
Other
but you
people.
still have to do some too. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you do. But
I went to help my
if,
cousin, but she still had to do some too.
yes, but if she can do easy work,
We don't,
if
but we
she
don't.
old
Yeah, we
like
don't.
that,
She could be 80 years old.
child,
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know.
We don't know, but the way he's talking is like this. She's up there in age.
Yes, get your CDL. It's awesome. You can make 100 grand. Yeah, you can. Um, make a lot of money, and you could become a business owner if you
Hold on,
want
wait a minute. She
to.
was born in 55 and has a dead person lower back fused. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, my mom
Oh,
was born
she
in
can't
55.
do
No,
too
she
much.
can't. Mm-mm.
My mother was born in 55 also.
Yeah, my mom was born in 55. Yeah, no, but yeah, she got uh bone fusions. Yeah, she ain't gonna be able to do all that.
She can't do nothing because she can't even sit up too long.
Right. So yeah, she can't ride. She can't. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. And she can't even like get a remote job to supplement her income. Get a decent job where you can work remote and move to a small town. You can catch a home for 50 to 100K. My grandfather's home when he died in 2015 was
100,000.
55.
Okay, but so that was 10 years ago. You ain't finding them now. Not that you can live in, and you ain't got to stick another 100,000 in to get right.
I don't know. A lot of my family,
That was 10 years ago.
like they had property. They didn't sell it. Like before my grandfather died, he
Mm-hmm.
they used to rent out the property to farmers.
Mm-hmm.
So before when he got tired of it, he didn't want to be bothered with it no more. He just asked my aunts and uncles and my mother to pick their spot. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody picked their spot. And some people was like, I'm not never moving back down here. I remember it was my youngest uncle. And what did he end up doing? He
Moving
gave
back
my
down there.
he gave his land to my aunt. My aunt told
What?
him, you can't get your land. You can't get your land back. Okay. So my other
Oh,
aunt,
wow.
my other aunt bought a house of a lady who died, and she fixed it up. So my uncle got a rent from her.
Dang. Okay.
And most of them, what they did when they paid off their houses in the city, they built houses down here. So they already had homes built when they retired, and then they end up moving.
Mm-hmm.
We will keep putting the word out so it gets out there. I don't think the other lady fully finished reading my second message. I said it went crazy during the pandemic and increased. Yeah, it's $100,000 now. You can't
Yeah.
even
Well,
find
it doubled.
houses, but
Yeah.
you can't even find houses for $100,000 now.
That's what we saying.
They're trying to give you tiny homes for 120, 130. I be looking. I was
Yep.
like, this is crazy. This is real crazy. He said she needed a senior living residence. Senior living is costly.
Well, if you go to like that's what I'm saying, like, well, at least some of the retirement communities here where I am, like that's part of, what I'm saying, they have those people on site. So I don't know.
Family does real bad stuff.
Yeah,
Sometimes for a
absolutely.
dollar
They're losing
after
another
losing the
generation.
elder.
Facts.
You are
Absolutely.
lifestyle, you are so correct. I heard a whole lot. And it said they be selling grandma and grandpa stuff off
Yeah, they do.
without the
Pennies
other
on the
family
dollar.
knowing. Like I don't understand how you stole all this land. Everybody's supposed to everybody's supposed to sign off on it. But you went to a lawyer and you did something undermining, and you just stole
Mm-hmm.
the property from under everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now you sitting there looking stupid because you need a place too, and you say you in the city and you older and the cost of living is too so high, but you done stole grandma's stuff,
Right. You ain't got
so
nowhere to
you
go.
can't retire and come home. Like
Right. You ain't got nowhere to go. Well, either because I know they happened to a this lady I know. She did that. Her parents had property, and her mom died first, and then her dad died some years later, and then it was just her and her sister. And they were supposed to, that it was a will and everything, saying, trust, all that stuff written out. The land's not supposed to ever leave the family. She done went and finagled some papers and all of this and messed around and used the the parents' house that's on the property that ain't never supposed to leave the family, use that as collateral for the down payment on this dream house she wanted to have built, right? Here
I'm
go her,
listening.
here go her husband. He took out 3 seconds on that house, on the dream
Three
house
what?
that she
3 second
sold the parents'
mortgages?
land up the river to pay for. He took out 3 because he had 2 side chicks and had knocked both of them up.
Why would she let him do that?
She didn't know.
And there was a couple down here, but they were older, and I don't think that they could read and write too good.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they owned so many acres, and it was by the river. So the husband, it was the wife's. The wife was, a lot of people back in the day was mentally handicapped, but they weren't labeled. You understand?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like I don't like to say the R word,
I mean, it is what it
but
is.
he took his wife's land and he sold it for a little to have the people build a little itty bitty house.
No,
Yes,
no, I'm good.
yes, that's crazy. Can you have a burger? Go ahead and block conducive.
Go ahead with the story.
No, I just said he sold all his wife family land, and it was by the river. It was riverfront property.
Dang.
Real estate is gold in the U.S. Some people are ignorant or greedy. When my grandma died, 6 kids, the eldest took all her furniture worth major money and kept it. Only gave us a little bit of other stuff. How was she able to do that, lifestyles? You
No,
never, you
what they're
never.
saying is instead of them being greedy and selling it, they kept all of the high worth stuff, and you know what I'm saying, handed out the I guess cheaper stuff. But yeah, like my grandparents' house, everything that was in there still in there, and it's gonna stay in there. I mean that.
And
So
my,
yeah,
my
no,
grand,
you can absolutely every listen. Everything that was in there when my grandmama took her last breath up in there is still in there, and that's where it's
my
gonna be.
my grandmother
We
had a
don't play them
second
games
house.
around here.
When they got older, they built another house that was smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt burnt down the house.
What? What?
My aunt got mad with my other aunt. She was living in the house, but
That's called
there
prison.
was another house like right up the street because it was a new house. My aunt burnt down the house,
That's called prison.
and my supposedly sister did the same thing to me. I went to
Mm-mm.
get pizza, came back, the house was on fire.
No, I'm good. That's called prison.
No, it comes back on you.
That's
And
still
then
called
you
prison. It's still
crying.
back on you in
She
prison.
crying, telling people, "Oh, she haven't seen me in 10 years." Girl, you ain't for me.
It's called prison.
Stay over there. Yes, grandma said, "What?
Fried chicken. What?
Kitty, kitty, what are you saying?" It says, and many people are
You gotta learn to
non-confrontational
many
and don't say
make our
anything
own
when it
path.
happens.
Okay, she was
Those
talking to
bad
somebody like
relatives.
that.
Lifestyle, you are right. I'm one like that. I'm non-confrontational because I always wait till the situation arise.
Mm-mm.
So the last time people was like, "Oh, did you see your sister at the funeral when my aunt died?" And I said, "No." But when the time comes, it'll present itself. And we just gonna have a conversation. And I'm just gonna tell her, you never meant me no good. So why must I be with you? Why must I communicate with you? I don't care how much you cry to other folks. I ain't got nothing to say to you.
See, yeah,
Nothing.
it's in how you set things up. Cause I know for a fact ain't nobody thought about going up there getting a damn thing out my grandmama house. Cause they already know that's your life. So we set that up long time ago.
Yeah, and a lot of my grandma stuff
When I
was
go over
in,
there this weekend, everything gonna be where it was when I went last weekend.
and that's
And the weekend before that, and the weekend before that. I ain't letting nothing go. Hell no. But when nobody over there before, don't bring your ass over there now. If you want to come, please be coming to do some damn work. That's how that work out over there. Ain't nobody got time. Cause see, that was the difference between my grandma and my granddad. Like he was on that, you know what I'm saying, non-confrontational, you know what I'm saying, and that, you know what I'm saying, contributed to his downfall. So yeah, no, we don't play them games no more. Because I see what can happen when you be like, you know what I'm saying, it's all right, and ain't a big deal, and I can get it back, and all that kind of nonsense. Yeah, no, we don't. Won't subscribe to that. All right, y'all, good peoples. I got to run. But I appreciate all y'all for coming. I'm gonna be on later on tonight. I got some non-political things to discuss. I'll be on for a spell. So y'all please hit the like button. Make sure you have subscribed and your notifications are good. Again, thank each and every one of y'all for stopping by, and I will see y'all later. Have a fantastic evening until I get back.